Dr. B, thank you for identifying because I've never identified fear as an emotion.
Mm.
We're just overcome with it. And I guess I should have known. I identify emotion with sad or happy or angry or something like that, but I
Yeah.
never identified fear. And since now that we know it is an emotion, how do we handle our emotions so that we can, as we identify them, how do we handle our emotions?
And so that's a good point. Again, fear is an emotion. It's a very strong emotion, and it's one that can make a person make an irrational decision. It can be very paralyzing. So, how do you contain your emotions, particularly if they are fearful, if you're struggling with fear? And so, when you think about fear, there's an exercise that I like to do, and I like to share with our viewers that are watching the podcast. In terms of being able to control your emotions, one of the most powerful, simple things to do is to learn how to breathe properly, and to actually do something that I started with my clients. I call it breathing for life. So, in terms of controlling your emotions, you'll be amazed, Dr. Ross, how powerful we can bring our emotions in check, and how quick we can bring our emotions in check by simply choosing to breathe in what we want to feel versus what we are feeling. For example, overcome the emotion of fear, then what would be the opposite of fear? The opposite of fear would be peace. So in other words, it would be something that is positive. So if you're feeling fearful about something, you can literally stop and say, I breathe, and you pause. It's almost a whisper. And you can literally whisper and say, I breathe in joy. I breathe in self-control. I release fear. Something simple like that is a simple way to gain your emotions. We don't realize the power of taking our time to just choosing to control our emotions, or choosing to get our emotions in control, based on just choosing to take just a moment. Again, if you find yourself getting angry, we're going to be talking about anger also in an upcoming show, but podcast. But again, talking about fear. So the opposite of fear can be faith. The opposite of fear is peace. The opposite of fear is calmness. And so it's just taking a moment to breathe it in, and to be able to literally say, I breathe in peace, and breathe it in. Release fear. Something as simple as that, as an exercise daily, or when you find yourself becoming anxious, or find yourself being worried, taking that moment to do that particular type of exercise. It's a way to control your emotions.
Yes.
Self-talk is another way to control emotions. Taking the time to speak to yourself, as we've talked about affirmations in our first broadcast. Taking the time to affirm yourself and speak positive affirmations daily out of your mouth. There's another way to control your emotions. And when you find yourself again getting fearful, take time and say, I'm in control. I can handle this situation. I can do this. I can overcome this. Something as simple as that. Words are so powerful. As you know, I've talked to you about that before, and it's just an amazing ability that we have to use our mouth to bring our emotions back in check.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for ending with those affirmations.